The sitting administration is still committed on the fight against graft. That is the words from none other than His Excellency President William Ruto. Now, how can they navigate this journey and bring graft to the lowest levels possible, or at least tame it at all and send it to oblivion? That is our condition today on Business Glide, your go-to point on matters public policy analysis, business and economics. I'm yours truly, Richard Mwenje. Indeed, a pleasure to have you on board. Now, with me to dissect into this subject is none other than Kenya's renowned public scholar, Herman Manyora. Great to see you, sir.
Yes.
In your signature Bermuda blue shirt.
Correct.
Come on.
If you go in serious places in the world, a man just has one suit. A blue or black suit with a blue shirt. And then 3 t-shirts, and then jeans. It's this country where people are wasting so much money on clothing.
Really?
There are many countries even around us where you can't distinguish between a poor man and a rich man merely by the way of dressing. This country spends so much money buying rubbish in the name of fashion.
You're just following the footsteps of our state officers.
Look how much Turkey is benefiting from Kenyans by buying them plastic suits. This is tunapiga easy. China, plastic shoes at we are fashion. At work, a suit 40,000, 30,000. If these people are using this money to save, to do good things, the economy would grow instead of the vanity of thinking you are dressed well when you just have a plastic suit from China. And
for capacity in our local textile industry.
Look, in many places, people just put on cotton shirts.
Cotton shirts.
You can't distinguish a woman who is a millionaire, multi-millionaire, a dollar millionaire, from a woman who is barely surviving. They are just dressed the same. Simple cotton dress, or a t-shirt, or jeans. But in this country, this is a country of vanity. Vehicles are not for moving people from point A to point B, but for show off.
Splashing opulence?
Yes, useless. And and you see the problem with this economy. Even those who have money which they have stolen, they can't grow the economy. Like I've told you, a guy, because he has money which he has stolen most likely from the public, he buys a 20 million vehicle. But watch him where he has parked it. Amenda kunya bia shilingi 200.
Allah?
Yeah.
Confused.
He's not growing the economy. And who is washing the car? Somebody next there washing with maji ya mtaro. So you buy a vehicle at 20 million, it is being washed with...
But you can exclude our state officers.
You know, also standards can grow an economy. So those who have money, even if we forgive them, they have stolen. If they kept to certain standards, the economy will also grow. So a man who has bought a vehicle of 30 million, he can take it somewhere where the car wash is like 2,000, 3,000. Ile nabebwa, inarudishwa, you know.
Sure.
And that man has employed like 30 people. That's how you grow the economy. But now you have money, but you are living like a villager.
First impression is needed for state officers.
Yeah.
They need to do expensive watches and good suits.
I hear guys have watches, the new ministers. So I just hear, maybe it's wrong. Some of them have watches worth $50,000, $100,000. And each of them has a designer suit. Birion they are called what? 1.2 million. That kind of vanities.
Do you wish to be them when you grow up someday?
Well, you know, we can criticize, but if opportunities come, we may do the same. It's good to be honest. But that doesn't stop us from seeing it is useless. Even if we went there, we would do the same. If you make me a minister, maybe I'll do the same. But doesn't make it any better. It is still a useless way of, if it is a national way of life. If the moment somebody becomes a minister, he removes the carpet in his office, even if it had been put there 6 months ago.
New deck on set.
He brings a new curtains, everything. 5 million shillings. A man who only recently was eating there in the streets.
To signify change of guard.
Yeah, this chair is not very good. Yeah. That kind of foolishness, we will never change this economy.
Are you somewhat signaling that in Kenya's economy, anyone being employed by the Public Service Commission oftentimes goes there for primitive accumulation of wealth? Of course. Not service delivery?
Which is surprising. You know, I went to Tanzania. I want to do some business with my late brother, some late cousin of mine, and another billionaire in this country. So I wanted to meet the Minister of Agriculture. We wanted to import maize. It's quite in the 1990s, or 98, 97. And we had everything done, but the deals fizzled because the government just stopped. They realized they were going to face famine, and we were just caught with that order. But the point I'm making, I went to a very simple restaurant, to eat. So we were talking there, and some New Kenya, no, I want to go to the minister. I want to see the Minister of Agriculture. You know, by coincidence, the guy who had been sitting next to me was the minister.
Hello?
Yeah.
Down to earth, simple, approachable.
You know, if you make me a CS, it will be very bad for other ministers, because I'll just remain who I am.
Few cheskers for you?
Yeah, I don't even need to dress the way you want me to dress. I'll come to the office with a t-shirt if it is hot, and my jeans.
Ambassadors need you for dinner here and now.
No, I'm not the type. I'm not the type to be swung into dinners that are useless. Those are things that, you know what happens if you become a CS?
Tell me.
Or a PS, because my friends have become from the university.
And you two are eyeing some.
And you go and see them. Those boys and girls, they are very clever. They spin you on their finger like this.
A whole CS?
Oh, but my friends have been there. When they come back to the university, they look very horrible. People tell them you're very stupid. They spin you like this and you don't belong. The idea is they want you not to belong to yourself. Oh, Bona PS, there's dinner at the Japanese embassy. There's what? And then they give you so much red, cutting, opening things. Yeah. We are launching, opening. Finally, you have surrendered your brains to them. You no longer have any brain. You can't think on your own. You are just cabbage somewhere.
Ceremonial CS.
Yes, so if I go there, I'll tell him, I know what I want to do. And to take me 30 days to understand that ministry. 30 days, there is nothing I will not know about them, however technical.
You'll hit the ground running.
Yes. And now once I know, they know I know, and I'm not going to be... I cannot have a small girl spinning me like this.
Managing your diary.
My diary. Kwenda uko. Not me.
You're a big man.
I'm not excited about those dinners and cocktails and cocktail kitu gani.
Or to launch a bridge in...
come on. I'm not going to do those things. I'll work for the people of Kenya.
Kazi tu.
Until the president says, no. Mpaka akutoe kwa hiyo ministry unajua yake. Umemkanyaga mahali.
And tourism.
Ukifika huko, you say how many visitors in Kenya? I don't support tourism. But let's say now I must do it because it's a ministry. How many visitors in a year? 1 million. I want them to be 20, 30 million before I leave here. After another 6 months, umetolewa. Then like Nyachai, you just give up.
You just give up.
You just go away.
Tender your resignation.
Yeah, just go away.
Very well.
Because they will do that in Nyachai, they will take him to a ministry, then he will make it so nice. Then they kept putting him there, then he gave up. Same to Michuki. Weka we environment. Ona ndio amefanya ile park ya Michuki hapo Ngara kwenye huko. Yeah. We need men and women who once in cabinet will leave a mark that their children and their grandchildren and great-grandchildren will be proud that my dad was a minister of government in this country. I was giving an example of Jeremiah Nyaga, who said, citing some of his achievements, he said, ukisikia kama ndang, hivi sasa ni saa 6 kamili. At least you do something people can remember you for. Who wouldn't remember Michuki in this country? Who wouldn't be proud to be Michuki's great-granddaughter? You would be proud. At least the things he did when he was minister. Wacha ile ya zamani, ile ingine ya colonial time, hiyo achana naye. So I keep asking ministers, do something. If you are Matiang'i, who will not remember Matiang'i? With all his excesses. What he did for NEC, the exams, I don't support it myself because I think we overblow the importance of exams. But at least he left a mark. When he was in the Ministry of Education, he left a mark. So if you are a minister, you want us to remember you that you bought a watch of $100,000.
But at least you agree Moses Kuria is overworking. Trade agreements day
Moses
day out.
Kuria, if it is not his mouth, is by incidentally. If you are just look for a CS who is working for Ruto. You will start with Kuria.
He'll be among the top 5.
He will be the number one on the list.
Number one on the list.
It's sad, but that's the truth.
But that's the sad truth.
It's the truth. Kama kamudomo hiyo angefunga. Ayu bwana. He's working.
He is.
That's docket suits him and he's working. Yeah.
Going on with the conversation, sir, now that you're talking matters, the president trying to fight graft, we've seen him call out a number of civil servants. And I will read just part of his statement during the signing of performance contracts for the ministries.
And
And
go and tell him also those performance contracts, they don't mean anything.
they don't mean anything?
Those are plastic things.
Not a reassurance of commitment?
That is just show off. That is just surface thing. They don't mean anything.
They don't mean
Sometimes you hear when they are assessing, this ministry was the best performing ministry, then you sit down to laugh. Because if you laugh, you are standing, you'll collapse. You sit down first, then you start laughing.
And he said there was a lady in the roads department corrupt to the core, but couldn't be transferred because he could go to court, buy judges, and get back to work. I hope that corrupt lady no longer works for the government of Kenya. That is President Ruto's statements. Now, him going publicly and calling out some of the civil servants who are rogue and who are graft to the core. Do you think this is something that probably he should embed in his element, not just the other time, but every other time? So if it's a CS who is engulfed in graft, being called out publicly, put to shame, and then they go home. Do you think that's a possible conduit?
You know, it's like the saying about a mayor who wants to be celebrated because every time there's a dead dog on the road, he rushes there and gets it collected and thrown away. So for that reason, we must celebrate him as a mayor. No,
Cashing in on disaster.
that's not how it works. You put in place measures to stop graft. Look at procurement, look at tendering, then move. But if there are loopholes there, who wouldn't steal? Why are you blaming that lady and everybody's rich? Look at engineers. We all have engineer friends who are working in the public service.
They're stinking rich.
They're stinking rich. They approve useless projects as complete or finished and to satisfaction. Look, cite an engineer working for government. Show me one who is a pauper.
Nothing to do with from humble
Look at anybody
beginnings.
working with the KRA. They have excess. So why single out one person if they're working with the KRA, for example? When almost everybody there is rich. They own all these flats around, you see.
But then again, how could...
Why cite a woman in roads when that's where the corruption resides?
Even with the presence of EACC, they are in
Which EACC?
intelligence and all that.
I've told you EACC is to me, is not a very serious body.
Don't you do you support maybe president now capacitating EACC through budgetary allocations?
You don't need
and all
EACC. What for? These are thieves. You just get them arrested and charged. Why do you need an EACC for a thief? These are thieves. What we deal with in this country is theft. It's not corruption. Because even if we had corruption, can EACC follow up on corruption if they can't get these cheap thieves? A man gets money, our money, puts in his wife's account. A man gets money and wires it to an estate developer to buy a house. If we can't solve those ones,
aren't you afraid you are reducing a whole government agency to a den of thieves?
I'm saying the countries that fight corruption don't have things like EACC. Because we are not dealing with corruption.
Raw theft?
We are dealing with cheap, raw theft. These people you are calling corrupt fellows who have obtained money corruptly can be arrested by a police constable, prosecuted using a first-year law student, and jailed in 6 hours. They leave all the trail open.
Behind.
People steal so openly. Why do you need? Why do you want to waste resources? This corruption, people should be dealing with corruption, and there's no corruption in this country.
Capacity DCI, EACC, ODPP.
No,
officers.
just get the police to arrest people and take them to court. You don't even this thing of ODPP, I don't know even how it works.
Next step, Shimola.
Vijana tu hata police constables walikuwa na prosecute cases. Hata hawa wanaweza. Sasa mtu anaiba tu pesa hii, ametoa tu pesa ya serikali hapa. Ameweka kwa account ya bibi yake, ama ya bwana yake, ama ya mtoto yake. Sasa hiyo unataka EACC ya nini? What do you need EACC for? Even when you watch TV, you just switch it off. Because it is depressing. When you read papers about how many government money has been lost, what people have done.
Tax evasion and all that.
A woman says, I was just passing next to Kemsa, mtu akaniita. I normally deal in furniture. Nikaambia nilete vitu ya corona. You know, it's depressing. You can go into depression in this country by just watching news. So what do you need any other agency for? These are just people to be arrested, tried, and jailed.
So what then can we do to ensure that we have higher standards of political goodwill towards fight against graft?
I've said, just like improving this country to the next level, all these things are tied together. Theft of public property, inefficiency, corruption, all the stupid things you are calling about, which are preventing us from moving forward. Things have gotten so bad, they can only be sorted in two ways. We can only change, this country can only be changed if the right man or woman lands in State House. One person. And I'm not saying the person who is there is not good. I'm just saying the Kenya I have in mind, which I would wish to see before I leave this world. So that as I go down there or up, wherever I'm going, I know my children have a good place. A person who will just land and State House and say, gentlemen, this is our country, God has given us. It's a very good country. We have been messing, let us stop from today. We have been thieves, keep what you have stolen, but from today, hakuna kuiba. That's one way. The second way is we will force a revolution unto us. And you can see what's happening in the country, in the world. You can see in Africa, in Europe, you see what is happening. We are saying, come, bring it, come, baby, come. So either we will get somebody serious in State House, or you call for a revolution. I want to hope that the president, current president, will keep the pace, walk the talk,
on fight against graft,
and have this country sort of change, so that people stop stealing public money.
There you have it. That point by Herman Manyora takes us to the wrap of this conversation today on Business Glide, talking matters, President Ruto's commitment towards the fight against graft, and probably what we should expect as taxpayers and also as Kenyans at large. That has been our conversation today. Time now for Fun of the Week. It is none other than this amazing lady, Tekla Chepkemboi in Nairobi.
Tekla Chepkemboi. Wonderful. Thank you very much, Tekla.
You remember Tekla Lorupe?
That's how Tekla Lorupe, yeah.
All right, very well.
Wonderful.
Until next time on Business Glide, I'm yours truly, Richard Mwenja. Up next on your screen is the Business Glide, African proverb of the day.